watching the front row of instructors sigh at yet another rendition of I Dreamed a Dream and Don't Rain on My Parade. Luckily, I'd prepared at least a dozen potential performances, ranging from the expected to the more obscure. Right now, I was debating between If I Were a Belle and Lion Tamer. One was funny, one was wistful. Most singers were leaning toward the latter, so I was leaning toward the former. Luckily, I was excellent at both. It was essential that I stand out. The next camper stepped on stage. "Rachel James," she said, her hair thick and shiny, her teeth perfect. There was a soft groan next to me. I glanced over to find a face scrunched with disdain behind big, round glasses. "It's a stage name," she said when she caught me looking. "Her real name is Rochelle Ilowski." A stage name. I was probably going to need one of those. Though, when I imagined receiving my first Tony Award, it had always been, "And the winner is Kathleen Rosenberg." I could tell from the way the instructors leaned forward, the way the whole room went quiet, and the straight line of her shoulders, that Rachel knew what she was doing. And she did. Her voice was gorgeous, crystal clear, and emotive. We weren't supposed to clap after auditions, but half of the campers did anyway. No one stopped them. "She's good," I said. "She's been on tour," the girl with glasses said. I was unspeakably jealous and a little nervous. "Wow," I said. "She's a bitch." I looked at my new friend, surprised and delighted by the outburst. She shrugged. "She put pine cones in my bunk last year," she said, "and stole my signed rent playbill." "That bitch," I said, and meant it. "I'm Harriet," she said. Her box braids were pulled up away from her face in a towering twist. "Kathleen," I replied. We shook hands. "First summer?" she asked. I nodded. "Fourth," she said. "You must know everyone," I said. She shrugged, but with a pleased smile. "It is very nice to meet you," I said. I meant that, too. A Rent fan and someone who knew the ins and outs of curtain call? It was as if the patron saint of musical theater, Stephen Sondheim, was smiling on me. Perhaps. "What do you sing?" I asked. "I'm an alto," she said. Lucky indeed, a new friend that I didn't have to compete with. "But I mostly write songs," Harriet said. "You write your own songs?" I asked. She nodded. It was like she'd just confessed to having a superpower. "You're my new best friend," I said. "Okay," she said. Harriet knew everyone and everything about them. At least the important things, like how many summers they'd been attending, if they'd been featured in the showcase, and if they'd ever performed professionally. "That's Courtney," she'd say. 6 summers. Was only in the showcase once, and it was an ensemble role. Or, "That's Shauna. Only her 2nd summer, but she had a duet last year." Or, "Karina wasn't here last summer, but she was the summer before. I think she was in the chorus." It was a little like being with my dad when he was reciting baseball stats, only actually interesting. "Who is that?" I asked. My attention was completely captivated by the most beautiful man I'd ever seen. And considering that he looked at least 16, he was definitely a man. He had floppy hair cut like a curtain in the middle of his forehead and a puka shell necklace, and I couldn't stop staring at the way he'd looped his thumbs into his cargo shorts as he rocked back and forth on his heels. He had nice legs, too, strong and tanned. "Calvin Kirby," he said, standing center stage. Every hormone in my body went off like overheated light bulbs. Pop, pop, pop. He was a baritone. I